The battle between Hisoka and Chrollo was one of the most intense and anticipated moments in Hunter x Hunter, and it introduced a twist that left all the fans intrigued: Hisoka's resurrection. After his defeat and death, the Jester came back to life, seemingly more determined and dangerous than ever. But did he not only return, did he also become more powerful? The answer might lie in the mysterious concept of post-mortem Nen, a phenomenon that causes the user's power to intensify after their death. In this video, we'll explore how this concept may have influenced Hisoka's return, whether he really gained a new level of power after his fight with Chrollo, and some ideas of what these new abilities could be, paving the way for his revenge against the Phantom Troop. That's what we'll uncover in today's video, but before we dive in, you know what comes first, then your like on this video. And if you're new here, you'll want to know that on the channel's homepage, there's a playlist with tons of videos delving deep into this rich universe of Hunter x Hunter, covering various awesome topics like this one that I'm sure you'll enjoy. So make sure to double check that you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the new videos coming out on the channel. The battle between Chrollo and Hisoka. After the anime wrapped up during the Dark Continent preparation arc, Togashi finally decided to illustrate a battle fans had been waiting for since the York New City arc: the clash between the leader of the Phantom Troop and the Jester Hisoka. Hisoka joined the troop with the sole goal of fighting Chrollo, but he never got the chance since Chrollo was never alone, and whenever the group split up, Chrollo vanished without a trace. Finally, Chrollo decided to grant Hisoka's wish, and the two faced off in the Heavens Arena. The troop leader meticulously prepared for the fight, stealing specific Nen abilities for the battle, even taking skills from some troop members like Shalnark and Kortopi, while Hisoka relied on his classic bungee gum, which, as every fan knows, has the properties of both rubber and gum. In short, Chrollo dominated the fight, resulting in Hisoka's defeat and death. However, before dying, Hisoka ordered his bungee gum to expand and contract his heart and lungs after his death, allowing them to function again and essentially resurrect him. Basically, it was like performing CPR on himself, and that's exactly what happened. Upon coming back to life, Machi even wondered, Nen that gets stronger after death? Zrina confirming that at that moment, Hisoka's Nen had indeed become stronger, enabling his resurrection. It's likely that the deep resentment and hatred Hisoka felt toward Chrollo, who killed him, made this possible. Concept of post-mortem Nen. The death of a Nen user doesn't necessarily mean the end of their abilities. On the contrary, they can actually intensify after death. This usually happens when the user harbors deep resentment or a very strong emotion, causing their Nen to seek out the target of their hatred or emotions and remain connected to it. As a point of interest, this concept is also explored in the anime Jujutsu Kaisen through the idea of vengeful cursed spirits. A cursed spirit born when a human transforms into a curse after death. For instance, Rika became a vengeful spirit after Yuta accidentally cursed her death by being unable to accept it. Similarly, Naoya Zenin, who was defeated by Maki Zenin and killed by his own mother, returned as a vengeful cursed spirit because of his deep-seated hatred toward women, especially the one who defeated him. But getting back to Hunter x Hunter, aside from the case of Hisoka, there are other examples in the series, such as P2 in their fight against Adult Gon. Even after Gon crushed the Royal Guard's skull, P2's loyalty and devotion to the king were so strong that their Nen remained active after death. Their Terpsichore, now even more powerful, controlled P2's corpse and attacked Gon, managing to tear off his arm. In this case, P2's intense will to protect MERUEM caused their Nen to persist with the sole purpose of eliminating Gon, who was a threat to the king. Another example is the Sun and Moon ability, which remained in Chrollo's book even after the original user's death. If the marks from this ability are applied to a conjured object, that object can't be dispelled until the marks explode. This clearly contradicts the usual conditions of Chrollo's skill hunter, showing how the Nen became stronger after the original user's death. A less discussed example of post-mortem Nen is Kaito's resurrection as the Chimera Queen's offspring. The series leaves the mechanics of this a mystery, but Ging speculates that there's a number in Kaito's crazy slots that only appears when he desperately wants to avoid dying, allowing him to somehow resurrect. Everything about this ability is shrouded in mystery, and even Ging isn't sure how it works. He just makes guesses. However, if you think about it, this ties into the concept of post-mortem Nen. Since Kaito did indeed die, we saw him be decapitated, and P2 herself confirmed his death, so his ability to resurrect, fueled by his will to avoid death, made his Nen more powerful, making him an example of post-mortem Nen. And remember this fact, because it'll be important later in the video. Did Hisoka get more powerful? There's a theory among fans that after Hisoka was resurrected following his fight with Chrollo, he became more powerful because of post-mortem Nen, Nen, tied to his feelings of hatred toward the troop leader and the other members of the Spiders. But does that theory really make sense? The truth is, there aren't clear precedents in the series, so we can't definitively say that he became stronger, nor can we completely dismiss the theory. Of the examples of post-mortem Nen we've seen in the story, as I mentioned earlier, only Kaido's case resembles Hisoka's, since Kaido was also brought back to life. The issue is that we still don't know if Kaido got stronger, as we haven't seen anything from the new version of his character as a Chimera Ant. If in fact Hisoka became more powerful after his resurrection, then in theory, Kaito should have gotten stronger as well. So even though we have a similar case to Hisoka, we still don't know if Kaito became stronger or not, leaving it a mystery. In the other instances of post-mortem Nen in the series, the user died and stayed dead, and what remained active and indeed became stronger were only their Nen abilities, like with Pitou and the user of the ability the Sun and Moon. So, did Hisoka get stronger or not? Like I said, we can't state it for sure, nor completely deny it. But there is some logic in the theory, which centers on Hisoka's feelings of hatred fueling his revenge against the troop, especially Chrollo. This feeling is exactly the primary condition for post-mortem Nen, and since that feeling is still alive in Hisoka, who intends to eliminate all the spiders, his Nen might be sustained and strengthened by that hatred. However, as I mentioned, there are no precedents in the series, and there's a factor that could weaken this theory: the ability of the second prince of Kakin, Camilla. Her ability involves her dying, after which a large Nen beast in the shape of a cat appears behind her killer, crushing them with its paws, extracting their life force and using it to resurrect Camilla, making her nearly immortal. In this case, Camilla undergoes the same process Hisoka did by dying and coming back to life, but in contrast, her Hatsu is specifically programmed for it. Did Camilla become stronger upon resurrection? Probably not, and that's why her ability serves as a counterpoint to the theory that Hisoka became more powerful. Hisoka's new powers. If the theory that Hisoka got more powerful after his fight with Chrollo due to post-mortem Nen is true, there are some interesting possibilities for how his powers might evolve. Here are a few speculations on how these new abilities could manifest. First, enhanced elasticity and durability. Bungee gum could become more resilient and elastic, with a greater ability to absorb impacts, allowing Hisoka to create nearly impenetrable defenses and more devastating attacks. Second, improved remote control. Hisoka might be able to control bungee gum from a much greater distance without needing to be physically connected by the gum string, making the ability incredibly hard to predict or evade. Third, bungee gum autonomy. Bungee gum could develop a sort of intelligence or self-awareness, allowing it to move and attack enemies independently, without direct commands from Hisoka. Fourth, shape-shifting. Hisoka might modify the shape of bungee gum to create more complex weapons beyond its usual state, such as spikes or blades. Fifth, transformation into armor. Bungee gum could adapt to Hisoka's body like armor, increasing his defense and even enhancing the strength of his blows, without losing its elasticity and adhesive properties. This way, he could walk on walls, but more importantly, gain a layer of protection for his body, which is no longer in its best shape after losing parts of his hand, foot, and having his face deformed. And sixth, my personal favorite, Nen clones. Hisoka could create replicas of himself made out of aura. We've already seen that with his texture surprise ability. Hisoka can apply his aura to any smooth, flat surface, like paper or fabric, creating images to alter appearance and texture in a deceptive way, replicating more than 1,000 different textures. With this ability, he's managed to trick Nen users of the Phantom Troop's caliber without them noticing the use of his powers by sight or touch, like when he created a fake spider tattoo on his back. This technique can also be applied to pure aura, like his bungee gum, allowing him to alter his own appearance. After his fight with Chrollo, Hisoka replaced his lost limbs with gum and used texture surprise to alter his own appearance, preventing his injuries from being exposed. So, based on this ability's principle, Hisoka could very well create full clones of himself made of aura, allowing him to deceive the Phantom Troop about his true location. So, when will we see Hisoka in action? As I mentioned earlier in the video, this theory doesn't have clear precedents in the story, but there's also nothing that fully refutes it. Therefore, there's definitely a possibility that Hisoka has become more powerful. In this current arc, Togashi has been diving deeper into the concept of Nen, adding layers and complexity to this power system, so it makes sense that he would explore the idea of post-mortem Nen even further. As for Hisoka's whereabouts, he's currently on the whale ship heading towards the Dark Continent, being hunted by all the spiders, which means a confrontation with them is imminent. Additionally, his last appearance was during a conversation with a member of the Shiyu Mafia, where Hisoka secured a VIP pass to ascend to level 1 of the ship, where the Kaken princes are and where the succession war is taking place. So it's highly likely that Hisoka will get involved in the succession war and might even ally with Kurapika against the Phantom Troop and the 4th Prince of Kaken. Because of this, we'll soon have confirmation or denial of this theory. In conclusion, the battle between Hisoka and Chrollo brought an unexpected twist with Hisoka's resurrection, sparking debates about post-mortem Nen and its impact on the character's powers. While the manga has yet to confirm whether Hisoka's power was truly enhanced after his resurrection, the impact of his hatred and thirst for revenge on his Nen suggests that he might have reached a new level of strength. With the continued development of Nen and the upcoming battle against the Phantom Troop on the whale ship, we'll soon have the chance to find out if Hisoka's return represents an even greater threat than before. Let's not forget that Hisoka has already taken out 2 troop members, Shalnark and Kortopi. Whether he's stronger or not, I believe Hisoka won't rush into his next encounter with the troop, avoiding the mistake he made in his fight against the Spider Leader. This time, he'll be more cautious and strategic, and an alliance with Kurapika is quite likely. Plus, Illumi might still play a key role in this confrontation if he turns out to be Hisoka's secret ally within the Phantom Troop. Chrollo better be ready, because this time the clown is coming prepared. If you stayed until the end, enjoyed the video, and aren't subscribed yet, remember to leave a like and check your subscription to make sure you don't miss the next videos. Also, check out the Hunter x Hunter playlist that'll pop up here on screen for you to binge watch the previous videos, alright? See you next time, and goodbye.